The new season of Siege, Operation Deadly Omen, is finally here, and I've got some banger tricks for you to check out in this video. From Azami spots to angles and utility tricks, I've got it all in today's video. Now before we get started, I want you to drop down into the comment section and let me know what rank you're trying to get this season. Of course, like the video, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And I just posted a 15 secret trick video as well a few days ago, so check that out. And Coconut Bra will be posting a new tricks video in the coming days. Now this first trick here is located over on layer down inside the barrels room. If you place a Kiba barrier next to that metal beam on that window, you'll be able to vault over the right hand side of the Kiba barrier up on top of the barrels. Now once you're up here, you can then place a second barrier right on the side of the forklift and you can vault up on top of it. Now this is such a sick spot. I've already used it in a game and it has worked out for me. You saw it probably at the very beginning of the video. And then what you can do up here is you can place extra Kiba barriers to protect yourself from anyone pushing into warehouse and heading inside of barrels. So there's multiple things you want to protect yourself from. Of course, there's the window and the two doors to your left. So what you can do is you can actually place a Kiba barrier on the pipe to your left, which is just above the light, and you'll be able to cover yourself from anyone coming in through that warehouse door. Then of course you can place one on the side of the forklift, which will protect you from the window to your right. It leaves a small gap between the Kiba barrier so you can see the warehouse door and of course the door at the end of the hall, and you've got full protection from the window. Moving on to cafe for this next one, and this is one of my favorite angles to use. I use it a lot on cafe. Now the normal way you would set this up is you would put a reinforcement on one side, make feed holes on the other, and you can watch for anyone walking in that bakery door. Now of course a lot of people like to roam and play upstairs inside and train, so what I do is if you make holes in the wall halfway up all the way to the ceiling and then go upstairs into train, right where those metal sheets are on the floor, you can make a hole in the floor to look down through that wall. Now you can see all the way out the bakery door to people sitting right behind that truck or making their way in the doorway. Now of course in normal circumstances people will be pushing into prep and expecting a roamer to be making holes in the floor, but because you can see all the way out to the bakery door, you can catch them off guard. Moving on to border for this next one, and this is a shield trick that was used in the Pro League. Now down inside the first floor workshop, if you jump up on top of the table and look exactly where I've pinpointed on the table, you'll be able to place a deployable shield down on top of it. Now you'll be able to see underneath the bottom of the shield for anyone pushing down that hallway coming from metal stairs, or you can look to your right and watch anyone coming in that door from the west side. Now, the obvious way that normal people would do this is with the Azami trick, but you don't need to do it in this situation, and is a really strong power position for the defender. You'll be able to see here as well where the bullets are hitting out in that hallway, right on that door frame. So as they're coming through, you'll be able to pick them off before they even get to the workshop door. Moving on to Nighthaven for this next trick, and a big shout out to Gustus for finding this one, so make sure to check out his YouTube channel. Now this is a double mirror trick down inside the first floor briefing room. Now what you do is reinforce the two walls, and then the metal chair on the ground, if you lay prone on it and then stand up, it will actually elevate you a little bit higher than normal, and you can place a mirror window higher on the wall. Then what you need to do is if you shoot a small hole in the floor next to the chair and lay prone and crouch on it, you'll be able to place a second mirror window right underneath it. Now what you can do then is by breaking the mirror window above, you can use as a really strong power position for the defender, and you can pop up and down and pick off attackers as they're coming in the door. Now, if you want to see more of the attacker's body, you can actually lay prone on that chair again, and you'll be able to see more of their body as they're coming in the door. Now another trick here, staying on Nighthaven, and again a shout out to Gustus for this one. Inside in weapons maintenance on the first floor, if you stand up on top of that weapons crate and vault over it onto the table behind, you will get a very small pixel peek onto the door into the bomb site. they will not be able to see you when they're peeking the door, and you'll be able to pick them off, and it's such a strong position for the defender to sit in, and you can get a win in the round. You'll see it here from the other perspective that it's such a small gap that when they're peeking the door, they have absolutely no chance. Moving on to bank for these next ones, and this is a couple of echo drone spots that you can use. Now the first one was used in the Pro League, and it's to stop anyone default planting up against that single wall or in front of the bomb chassis. Now what you can do here is if you throw your drone on the floor and move it up against that soft wall, you can do it on either soft wall that I just showed you, and what you can do is jump up onto the ceiling, and there's actually a little bit of a deeper part of that ceiling next to the fencing on the ceiling, and you can hide behind that little small lip on the ceiling and watch for anyone coming into the site. You can then use the echo drone, and you can see from a distance here that they will not be able to see the drone, and they'll have no idea where it is. Now the second spot is a little bit of a funny one. I actually saw it in a Your Boy Roy video, so make sure to go check out his channel as well to watch that video. It's really funny. But surprisingly, this drone spot, I've actually tried it and it works. People don't spot it and it's so strange, but right off of Dirt Tunnel, up against the underside of the TV, you can actually stick the drone to it and they will not see it. Now you can see obviously there's a white outline for me, so it looks more visible, but you'd be so surprised. People are so busy to peek the door that they don't spot it. They move in behind the server and then you can hit them and get some easy picks on the attackers. Now this next one is another Pro League trick that was used. This Flores drone trick on bank is so sick, and what you can do is if you rappel up onto the roof exactly where I've pinpointed and then throw your drone on the ground, you can actually jump it onto the ledge of the building and then jump it through the window into the CEO bomb site. You can get utility off the wall, you can push defenders out of positions and help your team in pushing the site. Now this also works on other maps, and I'm going to show you another example here on Cafe for that Whitehall window. What you can do is by going up onto the roof again and looking exactly where I've pinpointed, you can throw your drone onto the ledge and jump it down onto that ledge below. You can then jump it in the window and they will have no idea how you got your drone in there. You can clear out that corner that everyone sits on inside piano and make a push into the building. Now this next one brings us back over the layer. This is an angle that you can use for that master wall. Now this is a really sick angle to use. What you can do is go downstairs into the first floor reception, and right where that default camera is, if you shoot a hole in the ceiling just behind it, you'll be able to see right onto that main wall above. Any attackers trying to get that wall open, pushing into the bomb site, will be very much confused when you pick them off from down below. Now, of course, there is the risk of a roaming attacker, an entry fragger pushing in to reception and catching you out, but it is such a strong position if you know that you're safe down there, and you can see from up above here that it's not that big of a hole, so they would just think that it was just done while you were setting up the site, and you can catch them and get some easy picks. And moving over onto Skyscraper for this pixel angle, again used in the Pro League, and I do want to give a shout out to Sir Chaos as well. He's found a lot of these tricks, and a big shout out to him. Check him out on Twitter. He's got a really good daily posts on there. So what you can do is you can reinforce one side of the wall in Exhibition Room and leave the other one open, and right where the samurai suit is, you can sit behind that, and there's a small gap in his helmet and his shoulders that you can see out into Terrace. It's a really strong position. You can see from the other side here that it's very difficult to see that person as they're coming in the doorway. Now this next trick is a really quick little one. It's actually a way to trick the wall using mirror windows. Again, this is from the Pro League. If someone's placing a thermite charge on the wall or an ace, you'll be able to use your mirror window to quickly stop them from getting the wall open. And moving on to border for this next trick, and these are just some zero spots that you can use on border right off of that spawn on the east vehicle exit. Now what you can do is if you fire your cam right onto that small window on the roof, and then another one right onto that little roof frame, you'll be able to see all of the open area at top of square and the balcony moving across into break room. The other camera will watch all of offices, anyone sitting in behind the desks or coming out through fountain or over towards the window. Now you can fire a third cam into the other window on that roof, and it will watch more into the fountain side and the entrance into offices from the hallway. Now this next trick is more something that I've spotted since the launch of the season, is that the single bullet firebolt trick is now patched. Now I might be doing this wrong, so if someone wants to test it, let me know in the comment section, but I've asked a few people and they've tested it and they've said that you can no longer shoot one bullet in the ceiling and fire a firebolt through it. It will just drop the fire onto the ground now, but you can still do it with smokes into the ceiling. You'll see here that I'm using the fire one, it's not working, but I used the same hole for the smoke and it did work on that cubby upstairs inside an Logi. Now this may react differently on different walls. I tried to make the hole bigger even to see if it would go through, and it didn't. It still dropped onto the floor down below. So just a point of note to remember that the firebolt trick doesn't work anymore and you don't want to set yourself on fire when you're trying to get a kill. So that's it for the video, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed it. Get down into the comment section. I want to hear what other videos you'd like to see in the future. Make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I'll be streaming almost every day over there as well. And of course, join my Discord. If you want to post some tricks, have something that you want to see on my channel in the future, get into my Discord and let me know. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I upload my next video. And as always, you're